CaveFam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave. Hope everyone out there is having a good start to their week, y'all. We're back with another reaction. We got a good one today. I ain't gonna sit here and talk you guys' ears off. I don't know my energy. I don't know what's going on with the sun, with the moon. I don't know, but my energy is just down below. So a lot of you guys might get your wish today. I might not be talking so much today, y'all. So, you know, damned if I do, damned if I don't. But anyways, enough of the chit chat. Let's get into the reaction. Yeah, something out there.
After Kamala copied Trump's no tax on tips policy, check out how CBS News reported the exact same proposal from two different candidates. Let me see if you can spot a difference here. Vice President Kamala Harris is rolling out a new policy position saying she'll fight to end taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers. Juxtaposed with the way they covered it when Trump said the same exact thing, former President Donald Trump's vow to stop taxing tips would cost the federal government up to $250 billion over 10 years, according to a nonpartisan watchdog group. It's horrible when Donald Trump proposes it, and yet when copycat Kamala does, it's the best thing we've ever seen.
I went to CIA.gov and I'm going to read you this report. It's a document from the KGB in Russia. One of the CIA representatives referred to the case as a, quote, picture that makes one's blood freeze. A quiet, low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer appeared above a military unit. Someone unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO. It fell to Earth not far away, and 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes, end quote, emerged from it. The aliens came close together and then, quote, merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape, end quote. At that very instant, 23 soldiers who watched this phenomenon turned into ... stone poles.
What?
Only 2 soldiers who stood in the shade were less exposed. Specialists assumed that the source of energy that is still unknown to
Is this legit? Because this is crazy. Like, if you think about it, it's kind of crazy. Our dollar bill has a pyramid that's on the other side of the world with one eyeball over it, right? It's kind of crazy. Little spider up on the corner. Right? Remember that little spider we used to see when we were little? Is that thing still there? I haven't even looked for that little spider since I was like 10 years old.
$1 million question. Do you believe that a higher form of non-human
all scrubbed out? Jesus. Sorry about my appearance today, y'all.
Non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing. And there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
And so, Carl, that is quite a bold statement. I'm wondering, and I'm curious, how confident are you that that is true?
There's zero doubt.
And Carl, what evidence have you seen? What was the moment where you developed this level of conviction? Because what you're saying is extremely consequential and very important, and I know that a lot of people here even perhaps may not believe that statement.
Right. Well, probably a better way to ask that is, how can the folks in the audience come to the, a common understanding of what this phenomenon is? And so there's sort of two tracks here. One is from first principles, and another is actually from the data. So let's take a look at the data. So we can look at some folks that have very high level access to information, like Paul Hellyer, who is the defense chief for Canada, has come out and said the same thing. We can look at Ham Eshed, the head of Israel's, or former head of Israel's Space Force, has said the same thing. Chris Mellon, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Intel, SAPCO, has essentially said the same thing. Lou Elizondo has said the same thing. David Grush has said the same thing. David Grush cleared for presidentially level material. So you're looking at people that are in a position to know this, and they're telling you the same thing. You could take a look at the Gang of Eight in the Senate and in Congress. So there's two members of the Gang of Eight, Marco Rubio and Senator Chuck Schumer, that signed up to the UAP disclosure amendment last year that basically said they're not being told the truth and we need to push forward on that. So that's sort of an overview of some of the data. From a first principles standpoint, what's so unusual about this realization? There's billions of stars in the galaxy. Life here evolved in 500 million years, which is basically a blink of an eye. We've found planets around every star that we've looked at. It's likely that the universe is full of life. If you look at the SETI program in particular, the SETI program has all the same assumptions that you would accept and probably make with respect to this topic, except that they believe that non-human intelligence is transmitting signals here. But at the same time, like, we're not transmitting signal. SETI doesn't transmit signals, and the only signals that are actually broadcast of high enough power into space for somebody to pick up come from broadcast television and ballistic missile early warning systems, which you could argue our technology is moving away from. We're going to satellite, we're going to fiber. Broadcast TV is a thing of the past. And if you get to some state where society is stable, maybe we don't need ballistic missile early warning systems. So the other guy is probably not going to transmit. But what the other guy may do is come here, if that's possible to do. And there's physics models that suggest that may be possible.
And Carl, I mean, what you're saying is extremely consequential, and you've referenced other people that have said the same thing that also have similar credibility. There's similar reasons for why we should believe many of these folks, yet the government itself has not formally disclosed. They've been very reluctant to do that. Why? Why do you think that is?
So there's 6 basic reasons, and this, again, you could draw this out from first principles. There's a national security reason. There's the lack of a plan. There's the potential for societal disruption. There's the possibility that there's some non-public agreement. There's the potential for misdeeds and the desire to cover up misdeeds. And there's just the basic organizational intransigence and lack of priority that might be associated with the topic.
He goes by the handle name.
We have a couple longer clips in today's episode. Hope you guys are okay with that. Just thought I'd give you a little warning. Stay tuned.
Of Baby Trujillo. This man is a popular Peruvian explorer, and what he's found raises some questions. I do have to say that he believes in the ancient alien theory, which basically sums up to that extraterrestrial life has been with us since the beginning, cultivating our civilization. Well, he found an interesting place in Peru.
Yeah, it's like a perfect 90-degree cut.
This predates
Look at that.
pre-flood era.
Lid.
And what it is some sort of vault or secret place on top of a mountain. Just by looking at the engravings and the carvings, it is ancient. Is it pre-flood? We don't know without proper testing. But it makes you question, who made this and why did they make it on top of a mountain? Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
Mire, 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 mire esta maravilla, miren esta maravilla, esta tecnología No lo verán en otro canal, amigos. Y miren primero dónde estamos. Ahí está nuestro amigo. Miren.
Dude, you're out hiking in the middle of nowhere.
Voy a caminar así un poco para que vayan
You
viendo.
found
Poco a
something,
poco.
though.
Levanto la cámara. Ahí está Braulio. Miren. Ángulo para que se den cuenta de qué estamos hablando. Miren. Este ángulo. Miren. Miren esta cavidad. Y aquí es el fondo ya es cuadrado. Hola. Hola. Hola.
Hello, hello.
Hay eco. Como
Jump
metálico.
in, mo.
Pues eso sería piedra. Y miren, de esto estaba hablando. Esto es la tapa, ¿sí o no, Braulio? De esto, porque acá encaja, a ver. Miren, miren, miren.
Y'all, what is this? What in the world? Okay, now I know I ain't tripping. This on Arby's, y'all. What the hell? What in the hell is this? Arby's.
That's our dollar bill.
Explain to me what that means. The return is near.
Now listen
I want to try to find that clip for you guys.
to this. I have to tell you this.
Okay.
So after I left the party,
Here's Vlad
and
right
the
here.
next day I
Speak
smoked
of the
with
devil.
Michael, and then I get in the limousine and I leave. I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean tell them what happened? And I sit down with them and they all ask these super sexually exploited, questions, back-sided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened, I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving, everything you could think of. We rode 4-wheelers for 5 hours, me, him, and Chris Tucker in the mountains at nighttime after his birthday party. Him and I hung out and talked pretty much all night. Got a couple hours of sleep. I wake up. He's not even in the room. He pulled out a cot for me in his room because I asked him. I was like, I want to hang out with you. I want to be around. It was Michael.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with him. I wanted to hang out with Michael. He pulled out a little cot or something. I laid on the cot. I wake up in the morning. His bed's made. There's a cleaning lady that wakes me up. I keep asking, where's Michael? I go over. He's got this huge statue figurine that Michael Jordan sent him for his birthday. Because he collected that stuff. Went and smoked some with him, get in the car, and then all this shit happened when I got back to LA, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I looked at my mom, I go, are you really trying to go at Michael and use me for a money grab? I was like, nothing. And I looked at him right now, I said, nothing happened. I said, Michael was flirting with girls right in front of me. Actually.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because he was very charming.
I bet. It's Michael Jackson.
he made girls just light up, blush, and and I saw him looking at girls' booty. I said, I saw you looking at her booty. He was like, I was like, and so I hear these stories of like Wade Robson, and then I'm like thinking to myself, wait, hold up, I know Wade Robson. Wade Robson pretended to be the voice on my album Aaron's Party for my brother. Because my brother didn't do it, so Wade Robson did it. It was like a little spoof thing, an interlude in my second album, Aaron's Party. And Wade Robson did the voice of like pretending to be my brother or some shit. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Wade leaving Neverland? What is this? Like, what do you mean leaving Neverland? Like, I left Neverland. Everything was cool, homie. Like, what's your problem? Did you dream this up? Did your parents tell you to do this?
Yeah, I mean, they try to sue for like $100 million, and ultimately it was dropped. They got nothing out of it, as they should.
Nothing.
As they
That
should.
dude didn't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Michael better than all of them.
Yeah, I believe everything
even
that I've
Macaulay,
seen.
if it was Macaulay right now,
I'm not buying it.
Even if it was
not buying
Macaulay Culkin sitting right here, he would tell you the same thing I did with the same assertiveness.
That's crazy, y'all. But I've always heard, like, not all, I'm sure, but a lot of these kids, celebrities, parents are like obsessed with the limelight, obsessed with money, and they do whatever. Take my kid to vacation, right? And whatever, you need to sign them, okay, take them to vacation, whatever. They do all these crazy things for the limelight and the money. Look at this crazy guy.
Okay. As I looked in this doorway, I realized there was a ventilation system in here. The holes up top, as well as in the back, would have served to ventilate this room and carry smoke out. This space had been someone's home. Besides the ventilation, an interesting feature in here was this indented square built into the wall. As to the purpose it served, I don't know.
Crazy, y'all. History's
I'm
crazy.
sitting up here and just looking out over the canyon bottom and imagining, or at least trying to, what it would be like to wake up in the morning, pop your head out of there, and just have to scan the whole canyon for threats to your life and your family's lives. No one's going to be able to sneak up on you having to climb that tough little section there, then traverse along this ledge. If you're curious about a comparison, between the difficulty to access this site and that one from my previous video, it's honestly, it's not even in the same universe. Like this thing, let's say this was a 1, right? Accessing that would be a 10, and I'm not exaggerating. I've had time to think about that statement, and I stand by it.
I wonder if this is the Grand Canyon or just like another type of canyon in Utah or somewhere else.
This site was significantly harder than the first I found this day, but there was nothing impossible about it.
It's crazy though.
Of course, it's still unfathomable for us to imagine living in a house perched on a ledge.
Story this afternoon, a powerful volcanic eruption in the Pacific Ocean triggers a tsunami advisory along the California coast.
Local lifeguards, harbor patrol, and other first responders rush to close beaches and piers just in case.
And good.
Hi, my name is Sally Hartman. I'm a volunteer with the Center for Worker Justice. I want to know, when you become president, would you be committing to close immigration detention centers?
Absolutely, on day one. On day one. And thank you.
This is nuts, y'all. Look at the news will not tell you about this. We're here in Pensacola Bay, right on the backside of Fort Pickens. Me and my fiance were out hunting seashells just off the shoreline, about 10 feet into the water. I'll show you what we found. This is crazy that this is still happening and it's being covered up and not covered by the media. Check it out.
They're just out there living their best life, right? Got a boat, Pensacola, on the beach. Go after your dreams, y'all. It's possible. That's all I got to say. It is possible. We're working on getting there as a CaveFam, but follow your dreams. Go for it.
We're going to pull up 2 handfuls from the sand. You can already see the black spreading down there. Oh, you got a good one. Look at this, y'all. These are tar balls from the BP oil spill that never got cleaned up. They hit the spots that the tourists go to all the time and said screw it on the rest of this. The news doesn't talk about it anymore. This is nuts, y'all. That's just, we're swimming in this. We're eating fish out of this. Y'all, they got to do better.
I have no idea what this is, but these people are running for their lives. Anybody know about this? What's going on?
The recovery of JFK Jr. We recovered the 3 bodies, find the airplane.
How was the body of JK Jr.?
One detail was that JFK Jr.'s legs were, unfortunately, we found the kneecap in the cockpit dashboard, so they were very mangled, almost like a tin can just twisting on human flesh. It just cuts you up, tears you up. But yes, they were still seatbelted in.
Did you find anything that you never classified, but you can classify now? Anything that nobody knows?
One of the biggest items that were, let's say, not recovered. One detail that you would never read about, hear about, know about, unless, you know, you were actually there on site. We found a quarter size of a scalp of blonde hair that had been wrapped around her umbilical. One of the divers said, topside, I have, you know, this substantial size scalp down here. And basically just the topside diver said, no, you didn't. And so the diver below basically kind of unwound it from this Velcro boot that we utilize for chafing gear and just let it go into the open ocean.
I don't trust the guy. You don't trust Elon? Nah. Why? 1 minute, AI is the worst thing in the world. Second minute, let me put a chip in your brain that's controlled by AI. You really think the American government gave private control to the space program to a corporation just overnight? I think he's a groomed perception of Tony Stark.
I mean, think about it, y'all. I just said follow your dreams. Sorry to interrupt, but I don't know. I'm feeling dreamy today, right? This dude right here, he gets put on a lot of my clips. Now all he does is just record other people's videos and just does this. Doesn't say nothing, puts a little background music, does this. Drops a little bomb. I don't know if he's getting paid off of this, right? But I don't know. I don't watch other TikTok reactors. Have you guys seen this dude on other TikTok reactors? He's making his rounds, y'all. Like, that's how you can just stroll through TikTok right now and do this, a video. 5 videos a day, takes 5 minutes. You never know, right?
Stark. I don't think he's on our side.
Operation Paperclip? He didn't call it paperclip. He said our government brought those. The thing he would always say was...
Yeah, but I think there was several waves. There was
it's like 34,000 of them.
Yeah, there was a lot of fucking Nazi scientists brought over
On
here.
YouTube, it says Operation Paperclip was anywhere from like 1,200 to 1,500 scientists. Search engine. The total number of admitted congressional hearings in the 1970s. Operation Paperclip. Frank Church Committee in the 70s released it. I believe the number's 34,200 and something. Look it up. Just like I told you, they gave people samples. You pulled it up.
But it is fascinating that they brought those people over here, and that's where the space program came from.
Well, that's why I wore this shirt, not as a sick joke. They already had the CIA that was OSS. Okay.
The CIA is OSS?
That's all on record.
Okay.
I'm glad you questioned me.
No,
hey,
but I don't know what that means.
CIA.
What is OSS again?
Office of Special Plans.
That was before the CIA. And then the CIA came up.
Office of Strategic
Sort of like...
the Office of Strategic Services.
Like what was before the SEALs? What Jesse Ventura was in?
No, Jesse Ventura wasn't in that. He was an auxiliary of the Navy. He was never in combat. Anyways, let me expand on that. The OSS...
UDT.
The Office of... What is it? See? My memory fails. The OSS was British intelligence, or the most powerful intelligence agency ever. They set up Proud House in 22 after World War II to anglicize the U.S. with British intelligence. Not a British intelligence takeover, a marriage. This is like on PBS.
Okay.
This is stuff that's true, they admit. So they think only academics are watching it, so they'll tell the truth. The general pop culture is all crap. Meant to be dumbed down, meant to turn you off. But when you go to the real academic stuff, like the old days of Frontline and stuff, like I watched that to know it was true. Later I got the documents. It's all real. That like those shows are like really accurate. Like Bobby Kennedy planned to blow up the embassy in Honduras or something like that. What was I getting to?
This is a warning that this is one of the most disturbing cases that I've ever covered, and the video footage that follows is some of the creepiest that I've ever seen to date.
Smells like cleaning, doesn't it? Smells like...
A lot of these are motion activated. Yes.
Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Wow.
Something There was I heard it.
Did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
So are I thought this was police body camera. Who are these other people in there?
It did.
The ghost hunters?
The kids' clothes in there. So there's your attic access right there.
Okay, K9, that is the police camera.
Here's a pair of her. Am I good to turn this back on? Yeah. Okay.
They were shut down.
Shadows or what? There's a little movement back there in the shadow or in the reflection. Fuck that.
The police officer is standing at the top of the stairs. It almost looks as if some small shadow peeks out from behind him, just for a second. So is the White's house haunted by the spirits of Shanann and her daughters?
My entire For You page right now is presidential stuff and the campaigns being AI and what to believe and what not to believe. Just the other day, I received an email for a paid promotion, for me to make a video and post it on TikTok talking about the Democratic side. At the end of this email, it says, if you want to get things going, we'll send over an NDA for you to sign and we'll get started. I know a lot of people get their views and their opinions and their beliefs based off of what their favorite influencers are saying. Just know, they might have been paid to say the things they're saying.
So yeah, as you guys can tell, I didn't really put too much politics stuff on here. I got a lot of comments, people saying they're tired of it. I personally enjoy it. I find it entertaining. I find it, you know, I like to see the hypocrisy in all these politics. I like to see it. I like to document it. I like to put it out. But we only put a couple little clips in here today. Nothing crazy. Maybe we'll get into more here and there, but I decided to take it a little easy today. But, you know, they're out there paying these influencers, y'all.
That's in the sky right now, everybody. What the That's in the sky. Here, I'll zoom out.
Crazy. You hear those bleeps?
I'm in my car, just chilling. What the are those? Explain.
Now, I used to use Shotcut. I used to use DaVinci to edit. I used to use Canva to edit my thumbnails. I freaking found out about, I think it's CapCut. That's what I use. The best editing software. It's free. I would like to probably pay, because I was paying for Canva. I would like to pay for CapCut just to get a little more extra features. But now that I see other people's videos, I'm like, I can tell, like, oh, they use CapCut. Like, why didn't they tell me the secret, y'all? CapCut. You're doing editing? CapCut is where it's at.
This was a gigantic storm. We can't assume that we're going to be able to make everything good right away.
Jim, calm down. You began a sentence a little while ago with it's not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise that rich white men don't care about poor black people, period. So they're not high on their list. They're not high on their list.
George, I love you, George, but that's
I don't care if you love me or not. They're not high on the conscious or the subconscious list of those people who are in charge of things in this country. The owners, forget these foolish elections, the owners of this country don't care about the poor in general.
The owners of this country, what are we going... is this Karl Marx talking to me? The owners of this country are the voters of this country.
You're wrong about that, my friend.
Aren't the owners of this country the voters in this country who elected George Bush?
No, they're not. Listen, politics, these elections are a charade. It is a charade.
Oh, okay.
It is, they are meant to... Well, I'll tell you, just listen for a minute. Learn a little something. The elections and politicians are in place in order to give Americans the illusion that they have freedom of choice. You don't really have choice in this country.
I think Tyrone always had soggy tweeters, quite frankly.
I have an addendum to that. The real looting in this country takes place in the transfer of the wealth from the poor to the rich. I'm sorry that you don't like class and the truth, my friend, but you're just stuck with it. Class is class, and the poor have been systematically looted in this country. The rich have been made richer under this criminal, fascist president and his government.
You know, George, I think do you know what fascism is?
Fascism,
you know what fascism is?
America,
you know what Nazis are?
No, wait, sir, wait, sir. When
Nazis
fascism comes to America, it will not be in brown and black shirts. It will not be with jack boots. It will be Nike sneakers and smiley shirts. Smiley. The fascism. Germany lost the Second World War. Fascism won it. Believe
and actually,
me, my friend.
Fascism is when corporations become the government.
Talk about hanging on for dear
Look at
life.
this. Look at this idiot. 3, 2, 1, go. Not even tied up.
The guy in the plaid shirt and white helmet realized a second after takeoff of a 4,000-foot mountain
Too late now.
that he was not attached to the hang glider. The pilot apparently forgot to hook him up. The tourist from Florida hangs onto the bar with one hand and the pilot with his other hand. The pilot does his best to steer with one arm while grasping onto his passenger with the other.
Guy was just...
Y'all, this is wild.
When I first read this tweet, I thought it had to be fake. This will be the first presidential election since 1976 to not have a Biden, Bush, or Clinton on the ticket. I mean, you're telling me in almost 50 years we've had 3 families always on the ticket. That can't be right. But then I started doing the math.
This is crazy, y'all. This is like back in the day when every Super Bowl had a Peyton Manning, a Tom Brady, or who was it? A Drew Brees? I forgot who the third one was. And this is how this is.
1980, George Bush Sr. 84, George Bush Sr. 88, George Bush Sr. 92, Bill Clinton. 96, Bill Clinton. 2000, George W. Bush. 2004, George W. Bush again. 2008, Biden as VP. 2012, Biden as VP. 2016, Hillary Clinton. 2020, Biden as president. Is that not just the wildest? I mean, American political dynasties are so strange to begin with. Like, I don't love them. They smell a little too much like monarchy to me.
It's kind of fishy, right? It's kind of fishy. And maybe what George Carlin was saying had some truth to it. Hopefully that old Bill Maher clip's not copyrighted, but usually his clips are copyrighted. So you guys might not even know what the hell I'm talking about, but...
Hey. We have to be naked on stage during one full song.
Not Carrie. Not Carrie. I love Carrie.
Little girl fans, I can't go.
Leaving Megan. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Wow. All right.
Katy Perry, who apparently wanted to know what a beaver butt felt like. Squeeze your face. No, I will. No, squeeze your face.
Canadian high school.
I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
Out there and lights out and a vintage signature walk-off deep triple to close it out. And there's Kevin Durant. That's his 4th.
I don't know if that's what he was saying. It sounded like it, right? Which is crazy. You're out there representing, and just the fact that you can say that, if you said that, right? I don't know if that's what he was saying, but on a national stage like the Olympics, and not get in trouble for it is a blessing in itself, right? But anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. Sorry, like I said, for the appearance, the hair. It's one of those days today. I'm tired. The coffee didn't do its job. I never woke up from that coffee. It was just quick wake up and then just a plateau. And But we got the video done, y'all. We got the video done. I hope you guys enjoy it today. My second YouTube channel link is below. We'll be doing an upload tomorrow. Something different, right? I wasn't feeling that Hot Twins thing. We're gonna get into a little bit of the pyramids, maybe, or a little bit of Antarctica, something like that. A lot of interviews going around about exposing Antarctica, so we might get into something like that. But anyways, link will be down below. That video will be up tomorrow. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. Hope everyone has a good day. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Later.